Band-Maid are a Japanese all-female hard rock band, and Conqueror is the band's third, well, technically sixth, but Japan with their mini albums can make things very confusing with regarding a band's discography, but that's a topic for a different time. Anyways, studio album released on the 4th digitally of December and physically on the 11th of December. Now, this band is a band that's known for getting more dynamic among the releases, and the releases just keep getting better. This is also marks the band's biggest gap between releases since the gap between the band's debut record, Made in Japan, and New Beginnings, which was around a year and 10 months, and this gap between the two is a similar length, which is still pretty quick, especially compared to most bands' album cycles of about 3 years. Now, how does this album stack up to the previous releases? Some of you may actually know that I started out reviewing by doing the Band-Maid discography run. My mindset was I really like some of the songs this band does, and I'm going to go ahead and go through it and do their whole discography, and I really did enjoy it. How does this album stack up to an album like World Domination, which, as some of you remember, was the first 10 out of 10 review I gave on this channel. Now, we're going to find out how well this album does, not only on its own in the discography, but as a whole with 2019. Now, we're going to start out, as always, with all my reviews, with the artwork. Now, there are 3 variants. 2 feature rhythm guitarist Miku with a red pomegranate and pink flowers covering one half of her face, and one of those variants of Miku features Miku with a straight face, and the other has her with her tongue out. The final cover variant features vocalist Saki with blue and light blue flowers covering half of her face. It's worth noting that in the top corner of all 3, around here I'd say, there's a pink rose directly north from the middle of their eyes. On the cover where Miku's face is straight, there are words that read, "World Domination, you and I, to the Wonderland burned out." And on the Saki cover, there are words that read, or rather this is what I think they read because Saki's variant was very difficult for me to read. "Better to be last, nothing like a mirage. Say beautiful." Overall, it's a very neat cover and concept. The way the words are written acts like a signature of the artist, so I do like that touch as well. It's pretty simplistic, but I also do like how there's a little bit of complex elements, especially with the arrangements of the flowers. This is a cover that I'm definitely going to be giving a 10 out of 10 to. And now, we're going to talk about the album. We're going to be going track by track. Our album opener for this Band-Maid release is Page. And full disclosure before I continue, there will not be any audio, I don't think, from this album, as Japanese copyright is kind of scary. I love the acoustic guitar on this track. It's acoustic rock, I think. The acapella intro has a neat start and it's catchy. The drums have a right exclamation point with the timing of the snare. The acoustic and electric guitar contrast here works very well. The bass keeps a steady rhythm. The song may be soft, but it has a strong flair, especially when the chorus hits. This is an interesting choice as a first song, but that risk does pay off. After that, we get Glory, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this one since I already covered that in my song review of Glory, but to keep it short, this is actually my favorite Band-Maid song. The bass does have a massive upgrade in this version of the song, I'll say. The vocal flow is fantastic, and the riffs are here as well, and the vocal harmonies are really good. That's the sort of the short version. And we're going to get into Liberal, which is funky and in your face, but has a distinctive melody. Again, the bass kicks ass here. Fast tempo chorus. The guitar work is fantastic. Saki has a little bit of a rap flow here. Love the lead guitar melody in the intro. The bass is going along with the vocal flow is fantastic. The guitar solo-like moment during the rap segment of the song is neat, and the chorus is bold and loud. The falsetto in the chorus is definitely a nice touch too. Now we get to Endless Story, another song I previously covered, so I'm going to keep it short here again. The strings really work for the song that were not present in the original version. This is a strong rock anthem track. It has an uplifting feeling, and the vocal harmonies are fantastic, especially in the last chorus. Now we get Mirage. Funky disco-like guitar to start. Love Saki's vocal flow here. The drum fills here are great. The guitar riffs are fresh with the way they come in and sound like a slide, rest, then come in again. Another face-melting solo from lead guitarist Kanami. Lead guitar in the background, and the second verse is doing some neat things. The bass has a strong progression throughout. Now we have At the Drop of a Hat. The guitars have a string-like feel and more of an alt element work here. The snare drum works well here. This is a ballad that has so many layers to it, but yet it's simplistic at its core and it's cohesive. The chorus is very strong. The lead guitar has some neat work. Even in the simple moments like the verses, when hearing both guitars playing off each other is a real treat. It's also where you get to see how much Miku has grown from the start of the band. The outro is very strong as well. The bass is the backbone, and the fills at the end from the drums are a neat touch as well. Now we have Wonderland. The guitar leads are fantastic, and the bass rhythm is no slouch either. This song has a slithering but tough groove. The drumming here is pretty damn good here, especially with the fills and hi-hat beats, and the bass picking is strong here. The guitar solo is short but sweet. After that, it's Azure. The vocal melody is strong here. The bass is a strong background here. I really love Saki's vocal flow here. The guitar lead melody is catchy. Now, this is a standard Band-Maid song. That's not a bad thing. In fact, I think the people who really loved the sound that Band-Maid had from New Beginning all the way to Just Bring It will definitely really like this song, I predict. It's definitely something that's more fits into that sort of style from those albums. Now we get Dilemma. Intro sounds like the intro for another Band-Maid song, Don't You Tell Me, but sped up slightly. The instrumentation has the right amount of elevation on the scale. Another amazing solo. The song is a whole lot of fun, and the chorus is very catchy, and the bass and the drums and the bridge are just very awesome. After that, we have another single from the album, Bubble, which again, I've already covered before, so I'm going to keep this brief. The song still kicks ass. The extended guitar is great, and the bass is good. Or accented guitar, I should say, excuse me, as well as the drum fills here. From the standpoint of the drums of the song, it is just a treat. The guitar tapping in the second verse is definitely a treat as well. Though I really do like the bass here, and the mixing on the chorus creates a slightly echoey sound is really great. Now we get another song I covered here next, and that is The Dragon Cries. I love the guitar chords in this track. The chorus is catchy, the drum solo is freaking amazing. I think it's a combination of reverb and compression used here. After that, we get Flying High. The bass just punches you in the mouth at the start. Again, it's a very dynamic track. The drum fills are solid. Asaki's vocal flow, especially near the end, is very good, with her being able to put emphasis on certain points, but even while singing very fast. Fantastic guitar solo as well. Now we have Catharsis. Vocal flow here is fantastic. The fact that both guitars are doing the lead parts but pan to the left and the right is respectively is just fantastic. Really love the change-ups in the song, and Saki's vocal flow is very strong throughout. The riff and the bridge is fantastic, leading to another guitar solo that's absolutely dominated by the drums. Blooming is actually the recent single released, and the guitar tapping in the second verse is fantastic. More Saki rapping here. Instrumentation still goes all out in areas during the guitar solo. Rapid toms on the drum fills are fantastic. The guitar in the second verse is fantastic, and the song has a strong energy, which is intensified by Saki's fast vocal flows, which gives the song a more urgent feeling. Lastly, we get Renee, or as it's known now by its English translation, Reincarnation. This is the heaviest song on the album, as most Band-Maid song albums tend to end on the heaviest song, and it has so many strong points. The small progression in the second verse, and a strong bridge too. The build-up in the song is fantastic in the intro, and the bass has a deep tone. The explosion of the chorus works well as a drop, and I do love that little breakdown in the second verse. This continues the trend, as I mentioned earlier, of the albums ending on the heaviest song, which started in the album Just Bring It. This is a really excellent song. Now, as for my opinion of the album as a whole, this album is the most dynamic yet from sound in the band. It takes them both directions with experimentation. This album does incorporate an influence from 70s music in its sound a little bit, while still being Band-Maid, as well as a little bit of modern pop in there as well. This album contains many details and layers to like every single song. The guitar work on this album is top notch throughout. As such can be expected from Konami, and Miku has really grown as a player, and she has a lot of moments from this album where she can act as a lead player as well, which creates several albums in this moment where Konami and Miku are just really playing off each other, and those moments are pretty freaking awesome. Misa's bass gives us a strong rhythm throughout in most of the section, though it does have moments where it just absolutely just pops. Akane's tempos and fills behind the kit are as tight and as efficient ever. And Saki's vocals are phenomenal throughout. She has a very versatile range, and she was able to incorporate something new not seen in previous Band-Maid releases, when she adds very fast rap-like vocals into her arsenal as well. And of course, the vocal harmonies she does with Miku are fantastic. Miku has not only been able to, on this Band-Maid album, be able to do those really awesome harmonies where she and Saki are kind of playing off each other vocally, but she's also been able to play off Konami as well. She's definitely become sort of a double threat, so to speak, in the band. This album does take many risks. All those risks this album takes pays off. This album is a bold new direction for the band, but they do not lose their identity with the change they take on this album. This is the band's most layered album to date, and it is definitely one of the best albums of the year. That is why, without a doubt, I'm going to be giving Conqueror by Band-Maid an overall score of 10 out of 10, giving it a tier of masterpiece. My favorite songs on this album were Page, Glory, Liberal, Endless Story, Mirage, At the Drop of the Hat, Dilemma, Bubble, The Dragon Flies, Catharsis, Blooming, and Reincarnation. What were your thoughts on Conqueror by Band-Maid? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch this review. I also want to ask what your favorite Band-Maid album is now, and tell me what that is in the comments and why that's your favorite Band-Maid album. And I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch this review, and I hope you all have a great day.